Hello, I would like to present to you the physical modeling products from the Arctic MFC. This is part of the Copernicus Marine Service General Assembly. My name is Laurent Bertineau and I will give this presentation on behalf of the Arctic MFC team. This presentation will deal with the ocean and sea ice products in the Arctic MFC, as you will see here from an example from the forecast in January last year. And there are two other presentations by Annette Samuelsen for biogeochemical models and Øyvind Breivik for the wave products. Here for the ocean, we are using an ocean model, and we call it Topaz because it's our own configuration of the HICOM source code. So it's an Arctic configuration, regional, and as in HICOM we use generalized vertical coordinates. We use a combination of Z levels and isopycnal layers in HICOM. So the model layers are isopycnal in the stratified interior, as you see here in this section across the Faroe Island ridge. But they revert to Z levels in the top of the water column where the water is not stratified. Topaz covers HICOM to the size sea ice model at the surface. But we don't only use the size model, we have another sea ice model. We are also using a new generation of sea ice forecast model with the NextSim model, which is using a Lagrangian triangular mesh over a 10 km mesh size. It is using the brittle Bingham-Maxwell rheology, and this rheology is meant to reproduce the sea ice damage. The damage are the lines that you see on this animation here. It's the result of winds and ocean efforts on the sea ice, and when the sea ice breaks, then it is moving along these lines of damage. So this model is too new to be used coupled with the Topaz system, but it is used as a standalone model using winds and ocean forecast from below. So we propose 3 forecast products and 1 reanalysis. The coupled ice-ocean system has both forecast and reanalysis, while it has 2 additional forecasts for the sea ice from last year and the ocean surface, but without reanalysis. The coupled ice-ocean system is running HICOM with the data submission system ENKF. The standalone sea ice model is running NextSim with a simple nudging, and the tidal and storm surge model uses HICOM without assimilation. It's the only one that has tides and storm surges. The ENKF is running an ensemble, so it's no surprise that we run also an ensemble forecast, of which only the ensemble mean is provided, and the 2 new systems are deterministic. The ensemble has a high computational cost, so that's why we use coarse horizontal resolution for the coupled ice-ocean system, 12 kilometers, and higher resolution for the other newer products. The outputs are interpolated on fixed levels to spare you the pain of having hybrid vertical coordinates, and the new products are only at the surface. And we have different data sets with different frequency of the output, so you see higher frequency for sea ice and the tidal system. And now we have some overlap between the physical ice-ocean forecast sea ice and the ice-only forecast, and we're going to look at that in the next slide. So this is a typical forecast of sea ice coverage from the Topaz ice-ocean system, and now for the same date we look at the NextSim forecast, we see that there's a lot more details and small features that are of course impossible to validate in the forecast setting, but so the nature of the products are very different. In terms of performance, you will see the quality numbers from the validation activities, and the Topaz system on the left column has a slightly poorer position of the sea ice edge and much poorer sea ice drift statistics, but since the sea ice thickness is assimilated in Topaz, then the sea ice thickness has a higher quality than in the NextSim model for the time being. There is a tidal system in the Arctic MFC, and here you see the typical errors obtained with the tidal model. So the amplitude errors are say within 8 and 15 centimeters errors, and there are phase errors of about 17 degrees plus minus 25 degrees. And you see on the map to the right the position of the amphidromes, which is okay. As a summary, You see here all the characteristics of the different models in the Arctic MFC, and Topaz to the left with its ensemble assimilation, NextSim in the middle, and the Topaz 6 tidal system to the right. I'm not going to read all the details here, so just that you can go back to this slide to select the one product that is most adequate for your use. Most recent updates for the systems in the forecast are the assimilation of the CS2 SMOS product, so the merger of the Cryosat-2 and SMOS satellites, providing both CIS thickness. In the NextSim model, we have updated the rheology to the brittle Bingham-Maxwell rheology. Before that, the rheology was the Maxwell elastic brittle rheology. And in reanalysis, we have provided a new data product that has a higher vertical resolution, and that's been interpolated to a higher number of vertical levels. Initially, this is only 11 years produced, but we are increasing the time range of that product, so that in the next update on 4th of May 2021, we will provide a longer time series. Then the next updates are going to be, we hope, in late 2021 with a newer physical system, the Topaz 5 system, which will have a 6 kilometer resolution instead of 12 kilometers, and that will use data simulation in the same way as before, but with a higher resolution both on the horizontal and the vertical, the global MFC lateral boundary conditions, and better reverse and newer sea ice model, size 5.1, with better thermodynamics. We hope to improve as well on the NextSim model to make it assimilate sea ice thickness with CS2 SMOS as well as in Topaz, and to include the Canadian archipelago. The usage of the system can be for research, the planning of new remote sensing technology, for example, or operations. So we have here a list of different operations that can use the forecast with oil spills and design criteria for offshore industry. And downscaling is also an important usage of the system, because the model provided here are not coastal models, so you still need downscaling to regional or coastal models to use the data for coastal applications. This is done, for example, by the ROMS model at Met Norway. But remember that we should not use interpolated 12 levels output for that. You need a higher vertical resolution to do downscaling.